but you've still got Liquid 17.
Okay.
And C9 hoping
God, they
that
really
someone gives up here.
They're going for it. It's just like rinse and repeat till one of them backs away. And it's almost picture perfect to the same drop, same landing area, same kind of cut of Pachinki. I mean, at some point, surely someone goes, oh, this isn't working so good. Is there going to be more aggression? Is there going to be less aggression? You can already see the guns instantly coming in. Cloud9 have the most weaponry thus far. I guess you could say 17 now are equaling it out. Already, though, God V starting off
beep, beep.
Very well.
Bye-bye.
Squish Banana in the row, doesn't slip on it. God V is away. So Car in the pocket and a northeast circle.
Minor adjustment from Jemty this time. He's clearly preempted the vehicle of what happened last time with the issues. He's gone ahead over to farm, which will give him a different area to loot. He might give him a vehicle as well. So preempting the utility in order to move forward once this all said and done and the battle for Pachinki is over. I'm seeing bullets coming across. That's the beautiful Bison straight across from Ibi. Doesn't land any tags, but certainly has the information. Needs to be aware and very careful that between these buildings the windows are very open and easily line of sight. Circle's not with them this time, so slight different play should come through. We'll see Incognito with the fire adjustment, Lipo, Mansion, it's all up for theirs. Envy, clear as day up there in Yasnaya. Now, interesting circle. We were speaking about ENCE before. This is their home territory, all right? Okay, you've got STK who's knocking on your back door over in Severny. But this is their usual play. Actually, no. Looting-wise, it's not. We saw them in PEL
they go
between...
northeast further.
Yeah, Kameshki, Stalba. But it's certainly, this should be home turf. I mean, why are we seeing so much of an adjustment? Why are they not doing their usual thing, getting the vehicles? It's interesting.
I mean,
There's
hopefully we
questions.
can get an interview with them at some point. I'd love to hear what's been going wrong, what's been going right, why they've adjusted, if this is a real adjustment or if maybe they play differently online with different teams here. I'd love to know their mentality around it. And keep in mind here, we have so many teams dedicated towards Pachinki. The West is so open. Like, look at this entire area. It's so readily available. I'm curious if things change going forward with some of these teams, if they do manage, the groups again, if they decide maybe to switch things up, or if it's too late. I mean, a lot of these teams will have their specific loot routes as such. I know a lot of people have discussed that now, so people understand what I mean by when I say it, but they have their approach. And actually, speaking of approach, we have a bit of a scary prospect for ENCE, because this is shoot to kill. And Thrifali is holding the boxes, but there's a player very close by. That AK is deadly, and oh my god, they have no idea. ENCE now are being completely and utterly kind of put to test. Let's see what Thrifali, you've got to say it like that, otherwise it's wrong, is going to do here. The Finns have not had a good time so far. I'm not sure what gear he's got. Obviously, you can see the gun, you can see the equipment around that. Hopefully, he's got a vest, a helmet. He's got enough to fight it out. He should do by now.
It would be a huge win.
Is he going to open up, though, or is he going to win?
I think he holds this one because they're so split, even at
Does he
knock
have a chance?
would do so much damage. So hold this point, which allows his teammates to regroup if they need to. ENCE play so split.
Oh, hold on, this is different.
Jemty, are you okay, mate? No,
No,
you're dead.
no, Cloud9 put a player early towards that kind of, I guess, northern side hill. They didn't do this last time. Last time, Liquid were allowed to peel away, take the church side, and do you remember when they got themselves into that little house as well?
Yep.
And actually, Cloud9 just battered them at that point too. But this is nice mental small adjustments, and we are seeing 17 Gaming taking themselves away early, so none of them want to make the same mistakes. If anything, Team Liquid were the ones who kind of played the same game, the same hand. Cloud9 made a minor adjustment, and it looks like 17 Gaming are making a bigger adjustment. Yeah,
they'll opt to go to the barn houses, which gives them an extra area to loot. They're not quite in the circle, but they can certainly maybe gatekeep Liquid or C9 if they want to. Now, the question is, did they see Jemty peel off during the landing phase? You'll see all the rotations coming through, and the observers are so amazing in the back, they can almost pick up every single kill, so we'll be switching and dipping and diving for all the different POVs because we have them all under control in the back. But I'm wondering if they copped for Jemty and realised what he was doing during the landing phase. They saw him peel off from the rest and said, okay, well, let's this time deny Liquid's manoeuvre. If they want to try and push from behind, we'll put a man here to stop this from happening.
Yeah, because last time we saw a couple of the Liquid players holding their rotation. Hello? Yeah, no, we saw the kind of, I guess, counter coming out from the Liquid boys early. They had people watching that rotation. Maybe they stopped doing that and you're seeing Cloud9 punish. I like that. I really like small adjustments. Now keep in mind and remind yourself of what you can't see it right now as well, that 17 Gaming didn't completely peel off. You saw them leave. They didn't go super far away. On the other side though, ENCE is still very split here. It's one, yeah, there's no one together. There's no trades available. All individual looting, and this is great for loot. But there's a time limit. There's a marker that will tick in their heads that should say, guys, we need to start being a bit more cautious. The circle will push teams who like to early rotate towards the areas that we're in. Squeaky in the middle of a field, you've got Interrogate and some of the Envy boys in between him and Rust and Mar. So you have to remember that there is always limits on what you can get away with. Hello. Was that two?
Double headshot. Literally dink, dink, thank you, bye, bye. Is there anyone else over in that vehicle actually able to get them up, or are they just going to get mobbed? That's sick. That's actually disgusting.
Yeah, they just double ding.
Double tap 2 players just like that.
That's so nice.
And now runs him over for a bit of BM. Long may it continue. Go on, beat him.
You don't want him to drown. I don't know if you can see him in the ground, in the water. I'm sure he can. He's not super submerged yet. It doesn't matter. He's done. He will be fine. And will that point go to him?
Because they got the knock. The point goes to them anyway, so it's job done.
Good. All right. I was a little worried when I see it on the icon.
No one else stole it. That's the wonderful thing about this point structure. I say the wonderful thing. It's the worst thing for these players. As soon as there is a knock on the floor, it's like quick and easy point. Just
there it is.
Smash
Just pile on it. Yeah.
You will see a few where they'll leave him in the blue. It's like, okay, they're done. Just leave him be. But again, all right, blue's going to finish him. He's still going to get the point. If there is another team, it's like, oh, look at that. Some walking wounded. That's just 3 points for us at the end of the day. So you have to make sure you confirm them, but that's obviously an easy one and a different scenario altogether. This is why Trefella didn't bother laying fire earlier on. He allowed Mikas to push up now, and they'll regroup, which
so we
gives
kind
them
of
a
have
foothold.
the 2-2s now. We kind of have Ents back together, but I'm still worried about Ents because I haven't seen them looking strong. I haven't seen that finish sort of pizzazz. Wow.
Kind of worked.
Kind of.
Not
it's a bit of a reach, but I like it. I love the attempt. Where are we seeing rotations right now? Because we've actually seen, 16 teams live. We've seen those 2 players go down, but we haven't seen any big engagements. The east side of Yasnaya is giving me some great anxiety right now. There's a lot of teams all piling in, but there's a lot of room. Obviously, on the bigger sort of overview of things, a small wall, a bit of cover can make a big bit of difference, but I'm worried about these third parties now coming through.
Yeah, when you look at the map, you have to kind of bank on it going further up north because of how much map's up there. But again, anything can happen at this point. AG are committing to what is more kind of known as the yellows in the cornfield, just to be Yasnaya. We've had a hell of a lot of finishes around that area across the road, just up from them. So it could swing there. You've got MV holding it back. You can see Venge just keeping an eye on them. 17 in the distance this time, coming out with full 4 men from Pachinki. GG for that. AFF have gone a little bit further up. AHQ, they'll be on the eastern stands. Team Liquid though, first unfortunately losing a player, a big fragger in the form of Jemty, and someone who likes to lead off, and again for FaZe, he used to do it back in the day where he'd be the head scout. Jimbo though, head of the snake on the bike, will be finding for a decent foothold on this. They have to be careful, Aero Wolf one directly in front of them.
They scare me. So don't go near them. If you can avoid them, that'd be wonderful.
I think I mean, don't get me wrong, okay? Liquid, they're a good set of fraggers. They're an incredible...
Oh, that's...
Yoink. All right, hard shift.
Okay.
I'll finish what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Liquid, they're an incredible set of fraggers, but they're going to be hitting Aero Wolf at a man at disadvantage.
Yeah, Aero Wolf are going to lay down some shots, though, and we've seen double headshots happen, just things that shouldn't be happening. Now, James is going to relay all this information. He is okay for now. For now is the main word here because, I know you love to say it, rock in a hard place. Oh, and there it is, he's found the hard place already. Aero Wolf, just picking people out of cars. You don't take that road. The road has a very expensive toll fare on there, which is mostly your life. Go somewhere else. Find another way. Ents, you're seeing everyone. STK on the move. AFF on the move. AHQ, a lot of abbreviations on the move. All heading north. All trying to get to the north side of Sauber.
This is just a huge migration. Now remember, Circle 4, it will pull away from the water, so you'd have to bank on this going between Stauber and potentially Coastal Line, but it still could shift and come down south. 4 AM. They'll take up the high point here. They'll be able to see anyone who's down below them rotating on that coastal road over the northern side. And you might see STK just lay down fire here. You've literally got a roadblock.
Look at this northern road. Look at it.
Ents. Aero Wolf.
Here we go. Mikas.
This is the smash.
Finally, we're going to start seeing Ents wake up because they have to. They're being forced in. 4 AM. Wait, is that still? No, couldn't quite get it. That's Aero Wolf again. These guys are just devastating anyone who comes along that road, but they are going to suffer for it if they outstay their welcome. There's so many eyes turning towards them. Already a player not God V in trouble. Damaged up fire comes in. You've got Forever and Captain isolated away from him. That's STK keeping them pinned down, but they're engaging towards Aero Wolf. There's so many third parties. It's beyond a third, fourth, fifth party. It's everyone on the server right now is looking on that northern side, excluding 3 teams.
STK is basically just melting everybody that comes over. Unfortunately, it beats pulls up, gets out, does him, job done. Now they're down to 1. Samty again for the second time, just left clinging on for dear life and he'll hide inside a Harry Potter. Adam finds Captain.
Poor Harry.
At the moment, 4 AM and I think it was Aerowolf 1. They are having a hell of a rough time there up in the north. Because the problem is with that coastal road, it's an uphill battle. There is so much line of sight here, and the fact that you have both ENCE and STK taking the whole ridge line, and now all of a sudden STK are in trouble. Because ENCE, they've realised what's going on. Okay, this is our ridge line and we don't want to share.
But you've got 4 AM there trying to hold the back lines. Who engages on who? Leo does find Sam. We already heard from Leo that he is a fragger. That is Liquid out in just a disgraceful place for them. That's going to be heartbreaking, but let's keep on track with what's happening. Forever is finding kills. That's one of the STK players going down. This is not going to be a clean run for them.
Steal.
Now here comes Rustemar. That's got V gone. Forever goes down. 4 AM just got eliminated in 15th.
And excuse me, it was actually ENCE who stole it. So that was 2 players. What happened there from nowhere? Rustemar takes the off angle. He picks up 2. That'll be split between him and Trefeli, and now they can get the information. And
he's got to get back.
Will they press the advantage here on STK? Because they're pretty well tanked up here. They've been taking bodies on the opposing side. You can see the walking wounded in the form of Adam. I don't actually know how many's left.
This has got to be sweet revenge for ENCE after what Purdy did to them. Keep in mind, that guy ran at them solo with the backup behind him, just laying down shots, grinning ear to ear, knowing that he had ENCE in the perfect spot. Now they've just completely ripped apart the other team. This is good. But now third parties, you know what these hills are like. The higher up on this hill you get, the more vision you get, but then the trees can occlude it. There's so much danger. ENCE can't go too far because they don't have full information. Envy aren't far, and we got MP5 not far, but actually Adam did get found by Forever. I'm pretty sure that was kind of just bleeding out as that happened, so I don't think that really got claimed to anyone other than him. A
4 AM point in the bag.
That's not bad,
again, it's just, even though they're not on the map, unfortunately, there's no steal, there's no answer back from it. You thought they might be able to clean it up. 17. They've actually got 4 up compared to the previous one, so a decent one to get out of dodge. They've got it looks like...
Shox, hold on. There's a man called Shox at LAN, staring someone down. I've heard good things about this name in other games. I think Frankie can probably tell us more about that. We are going to see if if Shox actually opens up here. It's always that mental sort of questioning of yourself. If I open up, where are we going to get shot from? Are we vulnerable? Can I get my other teammates to join in? Is it worth, you know what I mean? You start working out. So here's the shots from their teammates, and now he engages. That's really, really nice synergy with the rest of his team. They're split in another 2-2. So they perfectly pincered the other player on Incognito.
You can expect him to go for the tires now. I mean, Kikamukau might potentially go for the res here, but you are committing a full man and able to take that one down, which leaves you in a 2 versus 4 scenario. Again, he had to go down as well. If you're going to take those shots, you've got to make sure the body is put down. For the simple fact he had an M24 on his back, turns around with the 8 times, he might just smash you in the face. So, taking your time, it's fine, it's paid off. The Brazilians moving up the hill. We'll see the Crusaders here. Potentially, who have they got in front of them? Okay, so we've got MP5. Unfortunately for them, I don't think they realise the Rangers are right on their backside. Purdy Curdy, last member of STK, doing what he can and just playing for placement. But I think for STK, coming off the back of 2 wins back-to-back, this might be a low one.
And AG saw these guys actually quite late game last time. I think they all took down 4 AM and the... couple of others being
3 kills, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to keep this in mind. Now Leo's on the move. A bit of a hefty fragger as well. We want to see what he can do. That interview certainly painted him in a picture that I didn't expect. Now I love learning about these players who can be really up there as the bigger players, but it does seem as though HQ are starting to suffer as well. They're losing out on players, and you said Rangers were creeping their way up. The Brazilians are in front of them. The Brazilians might get folded on here.
The Latin team will just back off for now. They open up. Initial body shots come through. Purdy Curtis still holding back. That's fine. There's nothing you can really do here, but here's the response. This is what I said earlier on. Every single time you take these shots, you have to be aware that there will be a response from the opposing side. The DMRs, the snipers, they are dangerous weaponry. Rangers do have the man advantage, so they've got the guns, but unfortunately, do they have the skill? And FPS will find a couple of tags through the bodies, but now he puts them in a very tricky situation because this blue will start to do damage, which basically leaves them out there, and they have to move into the circle. Brazilian, they can hold the line and basically let the blue do the damage and just let Rangers walk out. That shift goes away from all of them. The blue has worked, Lauren. He's down, he's out. They will lose 1. Leo moves on to a second one. That's MP5 getting involved. So the Rangers, by playing the late game here, unfortunately, it's kind of screwed them.
It really has. I feel bad. They waited too long and they took that awkward couple of shots and couldn't commit and they couldn't land enough to confirm it. And now they're just bleeding by the wayside. You're going to see how much damage this does. It is not a light circle. This one stings. And you've got a team to the north, team to the south. Where are you going to go? You've got to just pick your poison at this point. Sitting in that smoke will only last so long. They're just desperately trying to heal. And as you said, that circle is all the way in the east. We have a lot of teams already in a very, very aggressive, strong position waiting. Oh.
The thing is with the... Ooh, I'll just...
Miss me with that, Nate.
The thing is with this circle in particular, the topography of the map, pretty much the whole eastern side is grass and nothing else.
Mika's just got found though. This could be a launch pad for the rest of MP5 to start running into this one. If they feel they need to go, this is a really good point. But actually, Ents aren't that close by. They still hold high ground. So Mishu does confirm kill, but the rest of Ents are sitting further back. He might have been their almost warning signal to alert the others at this point. Or sadly, he just got caught out. Now, Envy can third party. MP5 can be a nuisance. We have AG in the backlines. This western side is very scary for anyone who wants to walk along that trail.
West is best. This will be the momentum of this game because East is pretty much a dead zone, to be honest. You won't really want to be walking around there.
The southeast side is a bit scary.
Yeah, and everyone will be focusing on this side and clashing heads. Envy are in the best spot. They can hold this line. 1, 2, 3, 4 teams are outside of the circle. In front of them, this could be, honestly, Envy could mop up maybe 5, 6, 7 points here just on kills alone. Yeah,
it does look as though Ents are holding the line, which is the main thing. They've taken down Mishu, who is the kind of engager, but Envy in the back lines are now going to be a problem. They found Spartan, so Ents know that Envy are very nearby to this. That can be caught up on in a second. Let's keep tabs on AHQs. They do clear through this, methodically moving, and it does seem as though they hear the shots towards Cloud9 from afar. So they should know there's danger around, but at this point, you know there's danger everywhere. That western side has kind of dispersed slightly. Ents move slightly further south, it looks like, to try and find a little bit of respite from the Envy boys really breathing down their necks, but not everyone is safe, Rich. There's still teams out in that danger zone. You're going to be seeing one of them now. General on the run. How is he still alive? Makes it in thriftily from up on top, does switch over, gets ready for any sort of response coming in from the others, but for now they are fine. They do want to find safety of their own though.
Envy still open arms, just waiting for this because they know everyone has to cross into the circle. They make their way forward. We'll see DG98 doing whatever he can do for the Rangers. The last man standing, but not for too long, as he is outside in the blue, and he will be bleeding out and dying rather soon. Moody gets tagged up by Ents. They now have the read on where Envy are. See the Brazilians directly in front of them. Homboya finds
Everyone's
one
taking
FPS.
this line, Richard.
Yep.
The Brazilians are being barbecued. You can see it. And 1 FPS goes down. Raspu's gone down. All of them just got caught by AG, who took their time. They moved with the blue. But then you've got to consider, where do they go from here now? There's still some of the Brazilians remaining. Rastanmar is there. So you're going to see every team now turning their eyes towards it. The Rangers still have that one-man standing. DG98 is doing everything he can. That could be a knock. Can he get it in time? I think he knows he is done for. Rastanmar will put him out of his misery as the Brazilians also suffer a similar fate. They are being broken around.
Circle does centralise on the main road. Purdy Curdy's still in. No idea how he's there, but he's managed it. C9 are doing an interesting one. They were the last ones to leave Pachinki, but they do have a 4-man stack going into this circle. The bad thing for them is they have 17, a team that were causing them problems at the very start of the game, just smack bang down in the middle of the south. And it looks like Afrika might have actually got the information that things are going on here, so Afrika
Cloud9. You've got to be careful.
They're going to get squashed between two teams. You've got AFF directly above them in the north.
AFF are just locking it down.
17 could push this.
They're king of the hill. It's Cloud9 who are in danger. Look at it. Nerf's already been knocked. K-Mine's in trouble as well. If they keep pushing this, I want to see what 17 Gaming do here. They've got a nice bit of cover from the kind of northern side. They've got that bit of a dip on the ridge that kind of runs around so they can focus towards Cloud9, but you cannot get isolated. You have no hard cover. You just have the terrain to keep you safe. Envy, in the meantime, are engaging towards Ents, but you're going to be seeing Lobes keeping this one under wraps as best he can, locking this down, denying the pathway through, potentially looking to consider a revive, but in the meantime, it's Envy again. Late game swinging into the fight now.
The battle on two fronts for Envy. It looks like they're going to push the advantage. We can see it on the map. AG might be done for here. Venerated and Moody Aaron extend to the edge of the circle and potentially just put a nail in the coffin there for AG, unfortunately. Profi hanging back and just been aware that there could be a team lingering behind them. They've still got these shots from 17 which came in earlier on.
The problem is he's got AHQ to his east. He's got 17 to his west.
The problem for them is Pachinki. This is why they're so late, because they've just been playing with all these different teams down there. You can't get central. You can't really do much. You turn up to these parties super late.
The rest of Cloud9. He can get an angle on the others. He can get the angle on 17 if it happens, but we need to ignore that because AG just got ripped apart by Envy, who's really starting to swing into things. They've been slow, they've been holding the line in the north, kind of, I guess, western side, but now they're coming into it. Oh, Squeaky. Squeaky, hold your nerves, hold your breath, because Incognito start to linger over the top. Squeaky strikes, takes down one, is the trade there. Rustamal goes down, Squeaky still doing everything he can. Can he hold this by himself? He needs to go off here, and he's doing just that. Confirms the 2 he started. Not going to go for the revive just yet. He knows the nade is there. He knows there's another, but where can he go from here? Can he still find it? Or will he peel off and try and take a second to breathe?
Squeaky got it.
Squeaky got him.
He did.
They just took down 3. Squeaky,
1.
you beast, and the revive comes in. But Envy, you can see him in the back lines, moving closer, but they've got time for the revive. A second to consider what's just happened. 17 did find Cloud9. I'm looking to see if there's going to be an answer coming back in. It looks like just Lobes is left alive. 17 keep moving. AFF still king of the hill here. They're holding this one down. Cloud9 about to get crushed under the pressure.
Squeaky just beasted him. 3 versus 1. Job done. Placements and points as well. So happy days for him. Move back to Afrika. Still lingering on this rock side. They have the cover, but there are so many teams at so many different angles they need to be aware of. And they are playing a very split game. So if a team rocks up on one individual, they're going to have a hell of a time. 17 looks like they've done a tremendous amount of damage to C9 here. Really a lot left to make from the American roster. Meanwhile, speaking of American rosters,
right now?
I'm not too sure. Actually, Ents are doing pretty well.
Yeah, Ents are fine with 2. I would say the one thing for me is that AFF, as much as they've been kind of central and they're playing towards your top 10 now, which is great, they haven't been fighting too much, so they haven't got the kills. They may not feel as warmed up as the others. They look like they want to kind of get involved. You can see Style pushing out. But
for me, I'd be looking at 20 alive and saying, boys, we are far, far spread apart here. This ain't good. For 20 players alive, they should be grouped together now, being ready for teams rolling up on them, because if they do, even a 2 versus 1, unless you're Squeaky, they're pretty much just going to get battered.
Purdy's tried to stay alive so long. I like this. I really like the dedication, but I like the turn better from SR. Cody just gets backslapped by the AHQ player, who now takes a second to heal and move forward. That's another jump in the right direction. Lobes goes down. That's Cloud9 removed, but we still have the big boys, Envy. They're moving south, and Ents are on the other side, but it's Squeaky holding the line. Envy are going to be pushed back and held in this position by potentially Squeaky. He only has 1 man to support him, if I'm not mistaken, and he's busy elsewhere. He's got 17 on the other side. Ents have 2 battles coming at them from 2 different sides. How big can they make themselves look here to seem this intimidating? I do not know.
It's literally a 2 versus 8. That's insane. I mean, they've done well to make it to this point. They've got a fair amount of kills in the bag.
They're still in. They're safe here. If they can find like a little bit of like a ledge or something.
If there's 2 players you want, at least in the final ones, it's your fraggers like this. Squeaky and Rustam, man, they could make something happen, but for them, it's not about survival. It's about how many kills and can they pick up before going down.
Yeah, but they could third party the hell out of the Nox if you see 17 and Envy engage, which is what they're praying for.
Imagine if Aerowolf get involved in Envy at the back lines.
You're banking on this. You're praying if you're Ents, but you have to wait. And now Aerowolf move closer, spotting one, engaging. Oh, venerated, you animal! RDK had no chance. And now the remainder of Aerowolf just watched his teammate get melted, hit the deck, have none of it. I'm out. I don't like it. I don't want to play with Envy.
Lasered. Completely lasered. And that's what you want. You want to be watching those backlines, making sure these individual little snakes can't do too much.
17 starting to really get
it's a good angle that as well.
Into it. Now, how much room do they have in there with that blue moving? And I'm trying to see how much room they have to move to. Actually, Ents are still okay to a degree. Now, I say that weirdly, where they have Envy on one side and 17 on the other. You're hoping for other teams to keep the attention. That's it. And they're still okay until that circle moves. They have 36 seconds, and then suddenly there's issues galore. But until that point, they can wait. And they have to hope that other teams have issues. The problem is that all the other teams, they could maybe jump 1 spot. You're looking at CL potentially getting found here by Monkey King. It'd be very hard to wipe the other teams who have 4 alive. So again, Ents, I'd love to see it. If you want to cause another upset, we know that tag brings the potential, but I'm not sure if this is the place for it.
I suppose it depends if Envy make a mistake here. I don't think they will be able to get an eye line because of the rocks where 17 are going to be set up and prepped to go. I did see an M24 kicking around, so that could certainly find a skull and do a job. They will wander by. Shox finds CL, so they're gone.
There's a jump. There's the potential jump we theorized. HQ of one player remaining as well. That could cause a jump.
Oh, they're going to wander in. Oh, they're getting tagged up, Lauren. Okay, so that's actually 17 who've managed to get an eye line on them, which says, okay, Envy, time to run. This is a problem.
Does 17 Gaming know its ends? I don't know if they've actually had like a knock or a kill to confirm it. So in theory, they could wonder if they've moved to that side, but it'd be a bit of a reach. It would be a bit of a reach. I think Ents now just have to run it soon. They know they're in trouble. If they feel that Envy have been pushed away from those angles, they could work to the north. At the meantime, though, AFF have taken over the northeast side. They've got a good bit of room here. Potential, bit of a dagger in the back there, potential all around this. Who do you think's got the upper hand?
I think if AFF play it clever, then they could do well and maybe. But again, it depends though, because you've still got these three teams with 4 men up. Now and again as well from the blue, or we just see this random wild snake appear and just drop a player, which then causes all catastrophic behavior.
We saw.
If you knock one from a team, it just focuses because you have to get that res off, which then takes you down to 50% basically.
Okay. SR again could allow a jump for Ents if they're able to stay alive. Rostamar goes down, they're down to Squeaky. Let's see who goes first. This is potential jumps for teams who need points. And here we go, Aerowolf's remainings have started to fight here. This is huge. And another jump comes in. Aerowolf does go down, but that's weakened Envy for a second or two. And Squeaky's still alive. Here's the entirety of 17 Gaming looking at him. But Envy are busy. AFF now could potentially fold on them.
If they push in here, at the moment, Style can hold back the one remnants of AHQ. But if they just collapse onto Envy, they might be able to do so much damage. There's the initial steal, so 1 point goes their way. Now they have to deal with the rest of them. One of them is very weak, just coming off the back of the res.
Oh, Envy are moving south again.
Do they get do they completely forget that Squeaky's there, and does he just stab
I don't
them?
think they know. I don't think they've been able to keep that in mind. They might have like a small consideration just in the back of their mind, like, oh, there was maybe, you know what I mean? There's going to be that maybe alarm going off. But beyond that, you've got 10 seconds. And now Envy, I think, are actually on the very verge of being in the circle, so they can play from this. But they've given up everything. Squeaky's been spotted again by 17 Gaming. These guys have not left him alone for a second. He knows he's in danger. The northeast side, they're just desperately trying to get rid of SR. They want to remove that potential dagger that could really threaten them. And then goes Squeaky, but he held on long enough to jump up quite high. So again, he went down after AHQ's player, so that puts him in a good spot. That's fourth for them, better than we've seen before. We're into the top three, Rich. We have 3 big teams with a lot of players alive. Where are we looking?
I think you have to say 17 for the simple position. AFF might commit too much to that lower ground, which could be a problem. Envy are also going to be playing off the backside of a hill. 17 are basically kings of the mount at the moment, the most central. So if the circle starts to push them in, then they're going to be the ones that have to make the least amount of maneuverability. If a sniper can find a face, that would be the domino effect. In theory, it's Envy who are at the disadvantage for the simple fact that they are down to 75%. But AFF's position isn't that good compared to the rest of them. However, they're all getting front and center, and they all have been prepared for the circle to do the work here. That's the next task.
What cover
the circle
do we have?
Push them.
17 Gaming have something. Those trees look beautiful, but 17 Gaming do have a little bit of something to work with. I don't know what the hillside looks like. I feel like AFF might have a little bit of territory to work from. It looks like there's a bit of a dip towards the northeast side of it, but the problem is that Envy have a lot of teams looking at them.
I wonder how many smokes people have.
Yeah,
and for 17, just as a really quick note, they're kind of spending all their utility now. They're using it all. So is AFF. They're getting ready for this one. If Envy hold on to what they've got in the bag, everyone's spending the utility. The smokes are up, and this is just going to be a bloodbath in the center of the circle.
Shox is really chomping at the bit to get forward. And here we go. Interrogator spotted one first. Bit of fire coming through. Nade. Oh, sick shot coming back from YY. Was that a nade pulled as well, potentially?
It went off.
And Interrogate's down to 2 HP. Gonna bleed out any second now. There he goes. Envy down to 2. Big pickup for YY. Again, that timing. Oh, what? Where did that just come from?
He just appeared from the smoke and just lasered him in the face.
Okay, Envy are starting to really maybe get a hot hand here, but look at 17 Gaming creeping their way forward, having kind of backup plans, insurance plans, and now 17 Gaming really start to make it hurt. Shox did find one, but the trade came back in from Moody, and Moody, the deadly bush, does eventually fall down, and we are down to 2 teams. In the meantime, AFF still stayed alive. Shadow finally comes out of them, finding Monkey King, and confirms it. That's good work, but they're playing from the low ground. They still have to get YY. They still have to do something here. Lambu trying to confirm the kills. Where is YY right now? Is he still alive? He's still hiding in the smoke. The shots come through, and he's just holding on, holding his breath so desperately. But when that smoke fades, he knows he's in danger. He's found Lambu, but the spray comes out from YY. This is so sick from him. He's still alive. How is he standing here?
I'm not too sure, but I don't know how much longer it can be for. Shadow finds him, he appears out of nowhere, and it is job done. A freak of freaks. They get a win on the board. It was a well-fought one, especially going into that final circle. Everyone holding the nerve and using the utility at the right time, put the smokes up. But I tell you what, Neils here and the viewers at home, this is the best thing about PUBG. It's literally not over until it's over. Everything can go down to the final game on the final day.
Yes.
This is only a group stage. After this, we move into an elimination stage. Now, for some teams, they don't want to get to that point. They want to lock it in. After we are done with the groups, the top 8 will be going straight to the grand finals. That's it. You've got your ticket, you've booked your seat, it's job done. You can watch the eliminations, unfortunately for some, go down, and only another 8 will be coming out of there alive. It will be a complete and utter Shark Tank. But I think that also sets a precedence of what the grand finals are going to be like, because you are going to have, out of all these top 24, you are going to have the best of the best come out alive.
Like, how many times can we, like, you know, take it down even further?
It's mad. You just kind of, you know, you really are getting the cream of the crop.
Oh, bit of difference here. Bit of a different drop from Liquid. Normally
Aggressive.
they're further up, they're slightly further north. I don't know if they just misdropped or if they're trying to be more aggressive. More aggression, Samty, Gemty, everyone is on the move.
Hiding.
Samty, oh!
He's hiding.
He just got pistol whipped. Shox just absolutely shoved that down his throat. Liquid
well.
are down to 2.
Oh.
What an absolute disaster to begin with for Liquid. They went for the aggression and they just got absolutely dumpstered.
Well, it's not often you see people going down with a pistol, but in Pachinki, when 3 teams are here, anything can happen. Jeems has also been tagged up. He'll be forced back, but whips out the pistol and puts 2 of them in the ground. Ronan as well. Ronan, unfortunately, will go down. So a lot of early engagements here. This is AG versus Incognito. Incognito losing 1. They've got to be careful. The player behind goes to get overzealous, smashes him in the face, but unfortunately, you do get punished that way. Damage. Another pistol kill in the kill feed. All these teams are getting very close to one another. And unfortunately losing members on both sides. See damage there, just picking up the scraps of the remnants on the body box. So we've actually got, in all of that, 6 players already dead.
And also look at this circle. We want something different. Well, I say Martin, he encompasses all of us. You know, he is our shining beacon. He wanted something different. We've seen a lot of northern circles. It's something different. What do you think, Rich?
What do I think? I think Liquid have dropped the ball. I'm sorry to completely throw that one out there and also redirect from the circle question, but good lord, the repositions there, and they got hyper aggressive. They fancied a piece of it, and unfortunately, it did not pay off. They are down to 50% already. I mean, I'm looking at the map, and I can still see bullets, tracer fire coming in. Whether that's going to be 17 and C9, it doesn't really matter, because unfortunately, Liquid, they are well and truly in the thick of it. And now, I think for 17, excuse me, in the previous one, they disengaged from that. They don't have to now. They can claim their victims, they can take the points, and they can get the loot.
Is Miss You okay? Just circling around. Moody needs 2 more shots, maybe 3. Sadly, only had 2 left. And he sprays away. Miss You does get away, but again, this is information being relayed back. You have AHQ down there, MP5, Envy with the earlier teams towards that southern western side. Envy in a brilliant spot. No one to their west. AHQ to the north, sure, but Moody knows that. Well, excuse me, he doesn't know that. He knows that MP5 are to the south. So they're already working this out, but Duckman's gonna be put to the test potentially here. I think they know there's a player quite close by, but where have they gone? Do they know he's peeled away or not? And Duckman's being very aggressive, very brazen, catching 1. Is there any more to be seen? No. Confirm that one, and you're safe for now.
So how many members are Incognito left? It just 1? Is it Insight? Last man standing? Potentially. This ain't good. So many players dying so earlier on, and this might set a precedence for how the week is going to progress, because this is only a group stage. A versus B, tomorrow B versus C, and then we go around to A versus C again. What is scary coming into this one, the top 2 teams at the moment is STK and Envy, 2 North American teams. You did see them in 3rd on the screen previous, but when it comes to kills are weighted higher when we look towards if teams have the same amount of points. The fact that we've not actually seen the best team in NA perform yet, we still have them yet to see them make any in the form of tempo yet to play.
Yeah.
Like, if NA is doing this good already, all right, it's a group stage, but
it's day one.
what can
all right,
Tempo do?
No, you know what? If we're doing this now, Frankie knows all this, of course. I'll tell you a bit more later, because it looks like we do see a bit of posturing. But North Americans, right? North Americans in esports, they get your hopes up through the group stage. They'll do something.
Oh,
they'll start looking good. They'll start, you'll be like, hey, what? Why are they so good? Why are they beating other regions? All the players are hitting some spicy shots, and you start to really have faith. And then you get away from the group stage, and you've built up this storyline, you've got your heart into it, and then suddenly
it
Team
collapses. Okay.
North American Team Liquid, traditionally. I mean, not, you know, you
Liquid
get it.
could do well here, though, but they've got to pick it up because they're slipping. They did have, before we came into Erangel, we did have the #1 spot held by them, and so far things have not gone bad. Excuse me, they haven't gone bad, they've gone terrible. Now they're down to 50 already, and we're in the last game of the day. I kind of like what James touched on as well. Like, when we get to that final day of groups, there's going to be an entire group that just have to sit there and basically await whatever happens to them. Just watch the other teams perform, how many points they're going to get, and honestly, they might dictate their story without actually being able to do anything about it.
And I'm looking at a big crunch coming in as well. This is going to be fun. We're seeing everyone really getting very central. We have 3-4 teams already pretty much in position. They may move around, they might shuffle a little bit. But we do see about 3 or 4 teams very, very central in this circle. Envy now pulling themselves back together. I think they're out of the early looting phase and they need to kind of consolidate. We'll be seeing MP5 doing something similar. You have Rangers there, AFF there, AHQ. Everyone's starting to move towards that kind of eastern quarry side, just south of Gatka. And there you go, AHQ and AFF starting to really begin.
And a bigger picture, a bigger story, kind of going through this week, as an example for now, where the circle is, this would pretty much be OMG territory. They loot Ferry Pier.
Yes.
We've got the Rangers kicking around there, we've got Envy, we've got several teams, MP5 as well. Like, right now, if this was any other day in every, any kind of server, and if OMG were in this, they'd be having a field day. They'd be spreading through those long woods, they'd be slapping players all over the place. They're a nasty, nasty team, and this is the whole point of this week. We've got the world's best, 16 of them, all been playing the same settings, all been playing the same maps, the same loot, the same circle. And yeah, it's just going to be a fantastic week, honestly. I don't know how things are going to play down. I can't imagine out of all these 24 teams, I literally can't say who are the 8 that are going to be guaranteed going to the grand finals, because anything goes early on. Literally anything. Top of the mountain, STK not quite central. Maybe we get a good read, an advantage point on where teams are going to be setting up. In the center of that circle, though, it's getting really busy.
It's
AHQ,
a bit scary, isn't it?
Wolf, previous winners AFF are in there.
Yep.
And then down on that southern side, kind of banking on maybe the circle coming closer towards them. You'd see the Rangers, MP5, Envy of that very strong compound with the war going all the way around, so you can lock that bad boy down. But unfortunately, because of the hill behind it, if Envy don't get a circle, or they're not pro-reactive to maybe moving uphill, you do have a tendency to getting locked in, and that's out the back of a car. Rogi, you're dead, my friend.
Yeah, Brazilians being caught there a little bit on rotation, but the others are on foot, so actually AFF could be traded on here. NN for their team is a little bit on his own. I think he's felt that pressure. I've heard the steps, and now he certainly hears the shots. And 1FPS avenging his fallen teammate from earlier. Going to confirm flush all the way through, but where's the rest of the AFF side? They're not really that close by. We theorized we didn't quite like how they split up in that last game. A lot of kind of individuals unable to trade back in or get revives potentially. It didn't hinder them in that previous game, but this time they've instantly lost out on a man.
I think they were kind of waiting on the circle to make their move and make their adjustment. They could have got together much earlier and much easier, but instead they waited and it kind of played out when other teams found one another, and all the pieces of the puzzle just kind of fit together and it went well for them.
Yeah.
They did hold on and they did fight. They got a couple of kills in the end. Yoink.
That's going to catch a couple people out.
Yeah, that's a spicy one for the simple fact that, all right, there might only be a little bit of water, but it cuts off into Sosnovka. So now from Ferry Pier all the way up to the Cliff Yellows, that's open territory. You can do whatever.
I want it to end on the bridge.
There's very little room here.
It shouldn't end on the bridge, but I really want it to end on the bridge.
Dangerous.
Okay, the scary thing about this is, Rich, and I know you know, and I know most of the experienced players know it, there's a lot of open field and a lot of water in this. It's not a lot of good cover to work off. It's very hard to play off, and we have obviously 16 teams still in this. So someone is going to get the messy end of the stick. The part of it that you don't really want. AHQ and AW little bit of an exchange. It's nothing to be too worried about. You're going to hear these shots. They're out the side of the car. If you bang out a headshot from that, I might report you, but I also be very excited about it. It's very unlikely, though. But everyone's on the move. This is where everyone's rotating. Everyone's going to try and keep tabs on it, find their little slice of home, and it's not easy because not many of them are going to go south side just yet.
You might also see one of the main compounds taken really, really late because you'd expect teams to already be set up there. Taking up residency, looking outside, you can see straight in the middle of all that open field. That's a really solid compound. Should you be able to commit to it and lock it down, you either need to send one scout or send all four. Commit to it, take it, claim it. CL, this will be an interesting one, boys. They're going to have to run the beach.
Who's got what? Right. Sorry,
Envy do have the compound on the beach. They won't be able to see cluster for the simple factor of the line of sight, but they might run head on here into a freaker in the very pier. If they're not careful, you get those rocks that you can play off of. You can just see in front of Long there. But apart from that, they're going to be in very open territory. That's a banger of a shot, Leo.
I'm liking this guy more and more. Every time we see him, his name's in that kill feed, and it's the right direction for his team. And you want someone like that starting to feel confident taking these shots. But the scary thing is as soon as you open up, you know someone's now looking your way. So there's so much to be considered here. There's no one really alone. Envy have found a compound to play out of. It's not that central, but it's good enough for them potentially if they want to play from this, if they are happy with that. AFF are not far away either. They're going to hear this going on, and this could create a nice little sandwich to happen, and that could be the case. We've seen a bit of a peek. Spots a player, backs away, could call for the rest of the team to get now to a position to try and get this one going.
There's a lot of good coverage where we see them on the opposing side, but the issue is that a freak will have the upper hand in the fact that they'll be able to monitor the lines of sight and also take a height advantage on them. We'll check in with Liquid, playing a wide open 1-1 split, but again, not really much else to play with.
There's
CL
that positioning.
tried to make the maneuver, and you can even see, look, Weiss already getting dinked in the head. There's really not a lot to play off of, and if they move to the left-hand side, then they have to deal with Envious, so I think they've committed to this. They have to stick it through. There's not really many other options, to be honest.
No, there really is. It's very scary. They could stay alive for now. There's a couple of rocks to kind of position yourself between, but you can't be proactive. You are completely at the whim of AFF or potentially Envy. If anyone else moves up on that coast, one of your areas is going to be open. That's the scary factor, right? Now, I think in theory, if they do that, you look at the southern coast there in Southern Norfolk Island.
Insight just chilling like, all right, boys, I got this.
Yeah, but the thing is, Insight could be the one to be the real nuisance and just lay a couple of shots across towards CL. But that's beyond the point. Oh, every time. Liquid and Cloud9, they can't get away from each other. They're just too into each other. James creeping forward. Profi on the other side, just going to peek over the hill. He's seen him, James has seen him. He's going to take the shot as well. There is no hesitation with James. He's going to push forward, but K-Mind, this guy's an animal. We know what he can do. Profi can't get far away. James is out in the open. That's scary territory. Going to fall back towards Ibby. No one there to take the fight back in for Cloud9. They took their time. They weren't going to go one by one. That's smart decision-making, as one of the teammates already got punished.
I'm going to be honest, I think they waited on purpose there. I don't think it was a matter of them just clashing into one another as normal. I literally think they waited and said, okay, well, we've lost a few. Let's see what else we can script coming out of Pachinki. So they took the hills, knowing it's a bit of a choke point. Long again. Oh, okay. So Tango and Long have made something happen here.
Where was that towards? It's because they came off the coast.
So I was going to mention Tango at that K9, and potentially he's got an opening point here. Okay.
I mean, that was the team on rotation. They were trying to find somewhere to go. They might have been looking towards that little pier that runs out as like a last-ditch effort, and they got found by CL. They lost a man in the process, so they've looked elsewhere. The problem is you're playing at picking up scraps now. All the teams who went very central early on are going to benefit, of course, and the rest who went on the outskirts are going to be struggling. James has found K-Mind. We are seeing the Liquid Cloud9, bit of a scuffle carry on, but it wasn't close range. You saw that mini? That's from afar. You're looking maybe 200-ish meters away. So that's a decent bit of range. Maybe they can find more. If they can confirm that, that would be beautiful. But Nerf has a chance to potentially get the player back up there. K-Mind would be a really good addition to keep in the pocket. Now, 17 Gaming aren't exactly far away either. They're towards, I guess, the eastern side, and there's the reply. You need a bit of pressure back on Liquid to make them feel they can't just get away with murder. Envy keeping tabs on Ents on the rotation, and they're running through a lot of teams here. We'll be just kind of watching them go. Where are they going to get to? Is there a free? Is someone going to open up on them? Can we do the same?
I mean, look at Venerated. He was straight in the car and heads
Ents
off.
aren't safe.
Yeah, Longwoods is looking really busy. You've got two teams lingering in the distance, and if MB decides to turn up the party as well, we'll have a four-way split going down. Mikas falls, RDK spots him with the SKS. That's the headshot. Job done for him now. That puts him out of the game here. The smokes will go up. How's the response, though? Will there be any response? Do we see AW make an advancement on this? Do we even see... Triffitt gets hit.
So
with
low.
a grenade.
Wait, Nuff just got found by someone else. The third party's happened somewhere there.
Where's that distance from?
I have no idea. Okay, that was
Oh, yeah, they came out of to the left-hand side.
Yeah, I guess that was more towards the circle. So Cloud9 tried to take the time and just get to the circle, but now they've been found by STK, so they're not having a good time either. That's going to be happening. This is still the Ents fight, and Ents don't have any information on this. They know... Oh, no, James just naded himself.
I think he may have given it up, to be fair, rather than force
You
more
reckon
points.
he's
because of
just
where they are in
naded
their
himself?
position. There is a possibility, but that's them gone. And that's a back-to-back 16th place for Liquid.
Feels EU, man.
It's very EU.
Okay, mind. On the receiving end of a very nasty gun there. And Cloud9 might be in the same sort of boat. It feels like,
Post it.
luckily
Post
for
it.
Cloud9, they do have one man left alone.
Post
Not
it.
their good nade. That's going to confirm on K-Mind. Now, the thing is, the remaining man for Cloud9 is not here. He went on his own business. He's got the Brazilians to think about, and he's thinking about them a hell of a lot. He's really been thinking about them, and 1 FPS. Might be feeling that too. The FPS dropping as a nade will put him to the ground, and there's just an absolute flurry of grenades coming out from the fields. This is a bit scary for Rusty Zera, and there you go. He's got support coming in from the sides, but actually confirmed that kill from the grave, so a couple of points. But Cloud9, the Pachinki teams are not getting away with anything. This is not good for any team who's gone there. You've lost out on 2 very big nades here in the final game of the day.
Hammer comes down, Long goes off the back, instant switch out. And remember, you've got to steal them because you can see the bullets from a different angle. Someone comes in and says, okay, well, there's a body on the floor. That's an easy 1 point if we can finish it. Miss you. AKM straight out, insight. Where's he come from? He's the last man standing here for...
He swam across from Sosnovka Island.
He was in the water swimming, and he's inside the circle. Like...
He's having a great time.
He
is happy with that one. Right, let's look at positioning, Richard. Who's in the good position? Who's got the scary prospect? Oh my God, that western side is heathen. Please, look at this. Look at these terrifying teams. Envy, AHQ, Ents. You have so many big names in basically a tiny little forest.
And they probably don't know that there's so many here. You'll hear all the bullets starting to kick off now. I think if Envy were clever about this, they could go down. They could take the side of the hill and maybe get up behind a lot of players if they go down.
That's STK finding one of the HQ players. That couldn't have been from there. Or are you being impressive?
I think they've been impressive.
All right, that's very nice. That's going to force them towards Envy. This is now the response. Envy with open arms going away on the other side. That's Variated finding CC. Reply comes in, and it's a big and Moody going to claim one. They've seen 2 different names now in the kill feed. They know this forest is looking scary. There's a lot of things in these trees, and they are deadly. Interrogate up to the challenging, finding SR. Where are the remainders? Winner still there, but that name could be a little bit ambitious here. If he can stay alive, that'd be something, but he's going to be going down without a fight if he keeps going like this. Interrogate chomping at the bit. Where's the other third parties? Here they come. It's Ensign. It's not going to be easy though. Rustam Mar gets tagged, gets forced back. Triffitt finds the Aerowolf players. This is a bloodbath. It's a massacre, and Shoot to Kill are turning up to this.
Yeah, they've heard all the bullets. Says, okay, boys, we want a piece of the action as well. Ents all of a sudden they turn around on a pinhead.
Oh,
HQ
so
getting
many
involved.
points.
STK's here, splitting across 2 different sides. Rustam Mar falls, so does Akia. Rustam Mar still, unfortunately, how many's actually up, friends? I'm trying to look across. They do have 2. STK with 4. They will be against Aerowolf. They need to be careful. But look at that. How many teams, how many players do we have, Lauren? And all of a sudden, they've just been completely battered.
And that was so good. MP5 in theory could watch all this happen and then just mop up as well. They're going to find some of the AFF players. This is insanity. STK are holding the line. Now, the one scary thing for them that they do not know is the Aerowolf have 1 player, maybe 2, to the southern side. But for now, STK want blood. They're out for Ents. They're looking for Envy. They're looking for anyone. They're aggressive. They're talented. And they want to put that on this kill feed right about now.
Interrogate been last man standing for Envy. Probably not a great deal he can do unless he finds maybe Aerowolf off guard. They're both laying down, so he crept up behind. That's an easy 2 for 1 if he can take the fight. You will see MP5 not gifted a circle, but certainly gifted the edge of it. They'll be able to play a border control here.
I'm a bit worried for SDK being surrounded, though. If they...
Yeah, with all different split across.
Or MP5 is going to be a nuisance.
I like Adam's idea to get back and watch his backside so they have some sort of an
like
exit, so to speak.
They have like a rotation point.
Yeah, it's a good play. He'll stand his ground, but he has to be quick because if MP5 get behind them, then they're just going to box every single one of these players in.
And MP5 already have 3 players going over there. Leo's left on his own. He can be the anchor. He can hold this. We're seeing a bit of a crash here coming in. 17 Gaming just be plowing in towards that, sort of, I guess, gas station area. The backside of it has got a couple of crates and a couple of bits of cover, but the Rangers are in a 2-2 split, so they can create a nice crossfire, but you've still got to keep your mind on what STK are now feeling the pressure from. I think 4AM might have seen them too.
I'm glad you touched on that. For the simple fact of having this 2-2 split, it might have gone their way because they'll be able to reposition here and potentially throw them. Bite comes up and over. And you can see and you can hear the grenades, they're going to be coming down hard. So they need to be extremely careful. Squeaky gets tapped up from behind on Civil, has him dead to rights, come round the corner. Shouldn't be able to survive this, but somehow does. The nades now doing the work onto 17. Monkey King goes down. AFF, they find 2 members. In fact, it's going to be 1. It's damage and general. Damage cleaned up. Squeaky down. Trifelli down. Interrogate down. Oh my word, it's so messy over on the west as teams are just butting heads back and forth.
But they now heard Aerowolf as well, so SDK know they are not out of the woods quite literally just yet, because there's potentially 2 other players, if not more, nearby. They know their fight's just started, and they're still waiting on the southern side. You can see them on the map. You can see MP5 building the walls around their territory. 17 Gaming aren't exactly in a great spot either, but the hillside, Aerowolf, this could be a huge nade. If this lands, that one's very close to him, but it might just bounce a little further back. Nade a little short. So somewhere between them it might have worked, but actually RDK gets caught. One of them did work. 10 kills for SDK. These guys are going off right now. They're clearing up. This is huge play from them. They just cleaned that team out. Now MP5 could be on the chopping board, but MP5, we know they love a fight too, but they're dealing with things on other fronts. They have AFF, but now 4AM. Background still happening. 17 Gaming out in the east. There's so many potential fights here.
I can't believe the return we've seen from 17. They've knocked a couple of players out here from the Rangers. And because of the split that they have, they left someone back, unfortunately.
Rich, SDK are about to find him. Here we go, MP5 under pressure. Maybe waiting a little too long. Spartan was a little bit further out on his own. Fong and Miss You are still together. Leo's still alive, but in a different position towards the south. SDK, they've got a good circle as well, so they can work from this.
They can play this to their advantage. Fong and Miss You will be left in the wind. Leo on the opposing side, but really what can he do? You won't have any line of sight there onto STK. Looking across at Monkey King's POV, still trying to get a read on how many members around here. He's already fought off the Rangers once. This AFF he now has to deal with. They won't be able to see him at that range. 4AM are still kings of the castle. They're happy. They do have to come out there eventually if they don't get the hard shift in the next one. The Brazilians will be held back in the north as well behind
4AM are laughing. They are so comfy. They've got a drop literally on their compound. They are so happy.
And it's been claimed, so I have no idea what's
smothered in like level 3 stuff.
Just upgrade them, why not? Thank you, Brendan. 17 could be in trouble here because there's 2 teams, Rangers and AFF.
Here we go, it's go time.
Holding them a good point.
Here, let's explain how this goes. AFF hold the south, to the north it's the Rangers. 17 Gaming in between and where you're going to go. So far, it's the Rangers and the fire is landing, but not too cleanly. They need one more on this. And that's going to work out quite well. The nades, though, coming in. That's from Lambu. That's AFF holding the further back lines. So even if 17 Gaming make it past 1, they've still got more to go through. They are fighting with everything they have, though. And AFF, they're backing away. They want to get in the circle. 17 Gaming somehow still alive in the east.
They'll be able to set the vehicles and maybe migrate. They'll get inside the circle. That's good for them. There's only 1 player there, though. Shox and Monkey King will be held back. Style and Lambu definitely have a read on this. They will be able to put some cover fire down. Again, the more noise they make, though, they basically ring a dinner bell. You've got Fong and Miss You behind them, so if you start shooting from that shack, you're basically giving away your position. It comes down to STK, though. Do they want to advance on this? Do they want to remove MP5 from in front of them? The player they need to be careful of is Leo. He's creeping on the edge of the circle.
Purdy's running with nades. Purdy is running with nades again. Purdy forces Fong out. Where's the players watching this? Purdy's found Miss You in the meantime. This guy, you wind him up, you set him free, but now here comes the third party coming in. This is 4AM from afar. That's up in the north. That's not even close. Fong, what are you up to? That is just insanity to go for that smoke. I know it helps, but you were taken down to a slither of health. And now SDK have lost out on a couple of their players. 4AM are terrifying me. They are so far out of this, but with those scopes, a 6-time on the SKS, it's bouncing that 7.6 right into them. And we're seeing MP5 now mopping up. Leo's coming into the fight, and he's the player we were scared of.
Yeah, I think everything that just were going right for STK just completely crumbled and went wrong. They went a bit overzealous and they got a bit greedy going for that kill, which left them extremely exposed. MP5 goes down, Rampage comes up on screen. So Adam gets the job done, he gets the kills and he gets the position.
Still alive.
But it went from 4 men down to 1 in the blink of an eye.
He's still there. Okay. So do you know what? STK cleaned that entire side. That entire side started with about 5-6 teams there. They're the last one standing. So you know what? STK, sit. Just sit there, Adam. You're fine. Maybe, no, don't leave there. Don't leave there. Do not leave there. Every shot you just heard was when Adam tried to leave that little tiny shack that's keeping him alive. You want everyone else to fight. You want 4AM to fight 17. You want AFF to join in. And now that is exactly what is happening. Monkey King joining in to confirm that kill towards Style, leaving AFF with 1 man standing.
Just so you are aware, 4AM are getting themselves ready. They're holding their position at the moment. They're inside the circle and they have a compound. But I can see them moving vehicles into better positions. They're going to be out of the blue, bring them forward should they have to use them. So 4AM are just getting ready. Because there will be a point when they have to move from this compound and out of their safe zone. And the problem is, there is a little bit of a gap between them and the tree line, so they will be exposed.
What can Lambu do? Again, Adam's peeking out. That's the shots in the background. Lambu is your last man standing. 4 kills to name, and 17 Gaming not shy themselves from the kill feed. 6 kills between them, but Shox here cleaning methodically as he goes. But when does Lambu shoot? He goes down. Not the ideal shot you needed, that confirmed kill. And yeah, here comes the punish. Do not miss a shot. Because instantly, that's 17 Gaming fighting back. Now, where's the next competition? Adam is a madman, and he's actually fighting. I guess you have to kind of almost peacock, right? You got to show that you're bigger than you are. Maybe they've lost track of where these teams are. Maybe that's 4AM. It's probably not. 4AM are hearing this. They know what's left remaining.
I suppose if he's got level 3 gear, I'm not entirely sure, but if he does have level 3 gear, then he can peek and poke. Using the Mark 14 as well. Maybe he just causes damage. You know, I'm just seeing it on the map. GodV is just going off on his own. He's just going on a wild little wander here. Okay,
so what we have left, 4AM, 4 players. They're up in the north. They already have GodV center circle. 17 Gaming, Swigan southern side. They want to put themselves probably second spot, take down Adam, and then deal with what 4AM bring. But GodV might stop them doing that. Shox, Monkey King, Xiao, all looking for that rotation route.
I think they're focusing too hard on Adam.
They might get it. It depends if 4AM actually go for this themselves. Like, they have no reason to yet. They have GodV in a really good springboard position. Now this is where it becomes interesting because 17 Gaming aren't in a good spot here. They have to sweep their way through, which means now Adam, in theory, could just play spoiler.
I'm seeing nade in GodV's hand, so maybe he just goes for the bombardment and try and pick this one up. That's a soundless Mark 14 for yourself.
Is there any covers for 17 Gaming?
Apart from the tree line.
They've got like a little bit of the tree line left, right?
I mean, the whole thing's a tree line over there. It's a bit of a mess, but it works and it does the job. 4AM again with those vehicles will be repositioning the back lines. And 17, they have to come out. There's nothing they can do here. And the grenades, they're already lobbed up.
Oof, Shox. Still alive though. Circle will begin moving right about now. Going to force him forward. Adam's making his way forward. He's in the back lines. Keep that in mind. He's going to put down his own smokes. He has a couple of players to keep at bay as well. He's got the rest of 4AM, whereas 17 Gaming backs to the blue, creeping forward, prone down, desperately trying to just make it closer and closer. Hopefully banking that Adam goes down first, which he might do. Look at this very deep flank coming out from one of the 4AM players. GG is out on his own going down on that western side, trying to ensure no snakes get through that grass.
Yeah, they've taken a full split here across the circle.
Adam spotted.
They've left Captain at the back to maybe be someone to lead some sort of direction here. Okay, don't get me wrong, everyone has to approach 4AM now, but 4AM are very spread.
Shox is in danger. Yeah, he's gone down. That was that deep flank I was talking about on the western side. They've pushed all the way forward. This is aggression on final circles, and I love it. Nade comes in, too short. Adam holds his breath, stays alive. Shox confirmed down. Xiao now falls. It's GodV doing the damage. Where's that remaining player still in the smoke? He's trying to stay alive. Monkey King is just going to play that edge of the smoke as best he can, but I'm pretty sure he's in the blue. 4 bullets is all GodV's got in this gun right now. Maybe missing the reload, maybe forgetting a flashbang. Oh, he gets the tag as well. This is big. They know where he is, and somehow Adam is still alive. STK have pushed themselves to second position, but look at 4AM. That is deadly, pushing their way forward. They don't even look like they broke a sweat. They knew they were in the perfect position. They played that so well. 17 Gaming had no chance.
Not many kills in the bag